Welcome back to another episode of the Ideal OneChunkMan. I'm Source Chunk. Ooh, I'm excited for this episode. So last episode, we had just gotten the Dragon Longsword, and I don't want to spoil too much for this episode, but we're getting some pretty great upgrades also. So back-to-back episodes with awesome upgrades. Let's get right into it. Alright, so we're picking right up where we left off. Last episode, we grabbed the Dragon Longsword, but we still had a couple more things to do from that Xanaris slash Lumbridge East Swamp chunk. So we're going to get right back into it where we left off, basically. So we actually had a new quest to do out in the Overworld chunk, and that is the Mistletoe Mystery quest, which is thankfully, besides the start of the quest, all instants in this area, so we don't need to worry about unlocking an extra chunk for that or anything. But yeah, pretty straightforward quest. Got us a little crafting XP and gems, but nothing that we really need at this point anymore. But good to get out of the way, and some more quest points. Another quest that might seem like we can do is the Fairy Tale Part 1 quest after Lost City, but we can't do that until Nature Spirit, and talking to Martin here will reveal that is the case. We can't even start it, so it goes on the backlog until we're able to do that quest line. So after finishing up the Xanaris slash Lumbridge Swamp chunk with those quests, we were ready to move on to the next one and start getting some upgrades. So we have two big upgrades that we're trying to get this episode. One of them is, I think, really cool routing and does some crazy stuff, and the other one not so much so. Let me give you a hint. This one is the second one. So our next upgrade is pretty easy to get. From our Port Sarim chunk here, the very edge bottom gives us access to the Void Knight crewmen, which will take us to their outpost down here. And unlocking that will obviously get us Void in the future. Now this first chunk, we just need to grab a Rune Javelin from the shop, because technically it has the highest range bonus of an ammo slot that we can get access to. But we're able to do that very quickly. And then from there we can unlock the main chunk, of course. And that's going to bring with us the requirements to wield Void, all of which I think we already have, and then obtaining all the pieces of Void. Void is going to be best in slot for me for ranged, melee, and mage right now. So we need all those, all three sets, plus we need the Void Knight Mace for prayer best in slot, because that is the best prayer bonus of a weapon that we have so far. And yeah, so we need basically everything except for the Void Knight Seal, which I might get anyway just for a free collection long slot. But yeah, I'll be back after we hop into some games and get our first set. Alright, and there we go. Last game done for now. 850 Void Knight combination points. Got a decent amount of money from this actually. You're gonna get quite a couple 100k, but so you can see 212 intermediate. I did one novice game just for a diary task. But yeah, this should be enough for us to buy one full set. And since we're using melee, I'm just going to be buying the melee helm, I think. Makes the most sense to me, but obviously we need the top and the bottom and the gloves for any set. And then from there, I'm gonna go ahead and grab the melee helm. Excellent. So this will be a very nice increase in DPS for us. Obviously we need all of them, but this will help me in the games to hit more accurately because, my god, very inaccurate on these monsters because I'm on the very edge of being in this combat bracket for the boat, so this will definitely help me hit much more accurately than I was before and keep up and everything, so yeah. But this is, we should be about, I think, 2/3 of the way done with the points, so I will be back after I can get enough points for the other two helms. Alright, and this should be, there we go, enough points for 400. Enough for the other two helmets that we'll go ahead and grab. Up to 312 intermediate games now. I've been banking my money, I don't have a full count on it unfortunately, but it's really growing, definitely great. So we got the melee helm, so we just need the mage helm and the ranger helm. There we go. And yeah, some very nice collection log slots, honestly. I know I still need to get the mace after this, but first of all, it feels great to have just from an upgrades point of view, but also getting like however many collection log slots it's gonna be. How many is it gonna be actually? Let's take a look. I don't have that much on obviously in the collection log, but let's see. Okay, so there are 10 slots total, and we're gonna be getting these two, I think. So yeah, we'll be getting 8 collection log slots out of this chunk. Very nice, to be honest. So I will be back when we get another 260 points, which should be enough for the mace and the seal, just for that collection log slot. Okay, and that is the final game. 261 Void Commendation points. Let's see how many total games we have here. 377 intermediate and 1 novice, so 378, not bad. Taking me a couple of days of just doing this. Not the most efficient, but yeah. Go ahead and grab the mace, which is basically useless for us outside of prayer bonus, and the seal just for the collection log slot. Very nice. I love these pop-ups that you get. It definitely looks cool, like the little orb at the end or whatever this is supposed to be. Looks very cool. I mean, the Dragon Longsword is iconic, but this definitely matches the outfit, so I can't be mad about that. But yeah, that should be everything we need to do for this chunk. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one. So with Void obtained, we're on to our next upgrade. So if we go up north back towards Varrock, we're going to be heading west next into Barbarian Village. And nothing there, but if we unlock the Stronghold of Security, you know it's there. We got to get our fancy boots. That's the next big upgrade. Well, no, it's not the next big upgrade, but it is a nice upgrade to have. You got to have your fancy boots, of course. So things you have to get from here, fancy boots, we'll obviously grab. The Shade Rib and Shade Rib top for Prayer Wrestling slot should be pretty straightforward. The Mithril Square Shield and Black Knife. These are things that are ranged best in slot technically for what we have, but we've crafted better, so we're going to go ahead and add that actually. So to add that, we're going to click this button just out of view and open up this tab here. We can go to our ranged and see that the Black Knife and Mithril Square Shield are best in slot here. But we can add additional equipment, which is for our crafted stuff. We actually have a U short bow that we've been using, and so we'll just check that off as needing it. And now if we look at this again, you'll see that the U short bow becomes our best in slot. So we'll need to be grabbing that alongside the fancy boots and the shade robe. So let's go ahead and hop into the dungeon and get going. So now that we're here, we're just checking out Barbarian Village, make sure there's nothing that I missed. It's a helmet shop here, which will have, I don't know, some nice helmets, but we obviously have better with the Void now. No really tank armor that's good anymore. Spinning wheel is nice. And to the south here, there should be pottery stuff. Oh, Barbarian Anvil, almost forgot about that. But then yeah, pottery oven and pottery wheel. This guy I think is for the quest later on, but we can't do that quest quite yet. So yeah, I think we'll head down and I will see you at the bottom where we'll be fighting shades first of all. So, see you there. Alright, quick enough down here. So the shades here are just in this initial room. They're very high level, but luckily I have magic, and with these fancy new robes, I can just hide behind a skeleton and safe spot them. So I think the rope top and bottoms are like 1 out of 4 or something, so although these guys are quite tanky and high level, this should be pretty trivial. So yeah, be back once we get the first drop. Easy as that. Shade rope top on the second kill, and yep, easy enough. Alright, we'll be back when we get the rope bottom. And this was the third kill, so very nice. All done and done in 3 kills, no duplicates. Very nice. Let's go grab our fancy boots. We've made it to the center, we've gotten our 10k already, obviously, and now we need boots. Gotta take the fancy boots, of course. Just a classic boot that you need to have. Well, can't really see it too much under my robe, but it's there, I promise. Let's, here, maybe that'll show them better, yeah. All the new stuff from this chunk, looking very nice. Love the rainbow boots, and they are technically a little bit of an upgrade, I think, so we will take them. I might stay for a little bit and get the Skull Scepter just for the collection log slots and the teleport options, so Not required, but I'll be right back. Okay, a few hours later, and I'm back with a full staff, and as you can see, a couple extra ones. I can't Minotaurs just for some extra charges, for I don't come back here later when I need to recharge it. You can imbue the Skull Scepter with this guy if you have like two-factor authentication, I think. So, and that's nice because that way when you run out of charges, you don't turn the staff into the dust or whatever. Unfortunately, I can't like overcharge it. I need Varrock achievement diaries to charge it more than the I think 10 charges that we start off with, but I'll just store these in the bank, and that way we can charge it up and not worry about using it. But yeah, collection log slots are definitely nice. We got 4 out of this. I think it should be in miscellaneous. Yeah, there we go. So another 4 slots, very nice. They're definitely hard to come by, collection log slots in this early game time, so we'll take what we can get. But I think that's it for this chunk. Alright, so now that I've grabbed the little upgrade of those fancy boots for best in slot fashion, we are ready to move on, and I want to continue going west. Now, you might see west of here and say, doesn't that say Dwarven Mine right there? And yes, it does. If we go west here, we will technically unlock an entrance to the Dwarven Mine, but let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit, and you'll see that if we were to go west of here, like that, if you're familiar with this area, this whole kind of shell around it is blocked off. You have to go up to here, where the path comes by the monastery, and then go down to unlock the actual Dwarven Mine entrance. Technically, you can go actually all the way up here and around and then down to unlock the entrance, but if we make sure to steer clear of those, then we won't have to worry about that actually. So just for the sake of this, I'm going to be kind of visually backlogging them so that we don't accidentally unlock either of these two, because if we were to unlock both of these chunks and then this one, we'd be able to come into Dwarven Mine. If we unlock this one, we'd be able to get into Dwarven Mine. And as I mentioned before, that is going to be a very long grind that we don't want to intentionally do quite yet. So that's fine. We don't need the monastery. We don't need this random wilderness chunk. We can unlock this safely and securely. And there's nothing to do there, so it's a free chunk. Now, I'd like to continue going west. We may as well because we're close to getting some more quests done, and quest points are always hard to come by on a chunk account, so I'd love to get them done. Going west from here, just north of Falador, unlocks us Doric's quest, and we can go ahead and complete that pretty easily. It also unlocks us the quest start for a newer quest, at least, called Below Ice Mountain. We can't start it, unfortunately. We need more quest points, which is partially why, this stuff is useful, doing more quests so that we can do quests like this. So right now it goes on the backlog, but we'll remember it for later. Now, from here, I want to go to Goblin Village next because I would like to be able to get some more quest points, obviously. So we'll go ahead and head up there next. Now, Goblin Village and Goblin Diplomacy, the quest is unfortunately not completable quite yet. We were able to do the first step with orange dye, but we need blue dye for the second step, and unfortunately, the only way that I know of to get blue dye would be to either buy blue dye from my dye shop over in the Elven Lands, which we can't get to obviously, or to get woad leaves and trade those in for blue dye. Now, the only way to get woad leaves is from the Falador Park, which I don't have unlocked. I believe it's this chunk here. There is a second way, which is farming, but of course we aren't required to train farming because there is no primary way to train farming without it being time gated and all that, so this is not something that we're required to do. If we want to go out of our way and do it, we're certainly able to do that, so if we become desperate trying to complete this Goblin Village quest, maybe we'll do that at some point, but for now it's not something that I'm worried about doing. So yeah. Now, from here, I'm going to do something a little bit interesting. So let me remind you of the rules that we have for unlocking chunks. So as long as we're able to enter the chunk by walking into it, any tile of that chunk is unlockable. And we don't have to do the stuff that's on the inaccessible parts of the chunk if a chunk were not fully accessible. Now, I mention this because I would love to get to the Warriors Guild. I mean, that's probably what you're thinking the unlock is going to be this episode, if you've been following the route here. But there's no good way over there, unfortunately. If we look at this, Taverley here, where the gate is, the only way through, unfortunately is the same chunk that the Taverley dungeon is down here. And the Taverley dungeon has a lot of very bad things that we do not want to be involved in right now. A lot of bad things. So, that's not something that we can afford to unlock right now, unfortunately. So as soon as we unlock this chunk, we'd have to do that, and that's not an option I'm willing to take. Now, there is maybe another way, but we're not totally sure about it. So if we unlock this chunk here, just north, the North Taverley chunk, where the Heroes Guild is, which we can unlock because we can walk in the edge right here, then we're able to go up to the Chaos Temple here. This Dragon Mace is not until after the quest, so we don't need to worry about it. Now, from there, we have this Chaos Temple, which is very nice. We can get some Wines of Zamorak or whatever here. But there is this shortcut up here. And technically I can walk into the other chunk here, which means we can unlock Berthorpe just like that. It's a rollable chunk because we can walk at least one square into it without, teleporting there. We can walk directly there from our unlocked chunks. And unfortunately, this agility obstacle requires us to do the Easy Falador Diary, which is a whole mess of things that we have to do. But instead of doing that, well, I mean, we have this chunk unlocked now, so I'm just going to teleport in. I got a games necklace right before this. It's actually been on me the whole time. If anyone has been keen, they may have noticed that. But yeah, I'm just teleporting into my already unlocked chunk. There's nothing wrong with that, and so now we have Berthorpe unlocked. And we're one chunk away from the Warriors Guild, so yeah. Now that we have access to Berthorpe and all it has to offer, we do have access to the Rogue's Den, actually. Well, let's go check for beers here first. I'm going to grab a couple of these while we're here. But the Rogue's Den just below this pub is unlocked for us. It doesn't require 50 thieving and agility to enter. That's just the mini game up above that requires us to have that. And so unfortunately, since we don't have agility, we're not able to get the Rogue's outfit for thieving, unfortunately. And also, unfortunately, it means we won't be able to get the Graceful set, which is also sold here. Would love to get both of those at some point, so maybe we'll do agility sometime soon, but unfortunately not. What we do unlock here is just a nice bank, and a bank right next to a fire, which will be great for training, cooking in the future if we need to do that. So definitely happy about unlocking this, which is very nice. On top of that, they have these wall safes here that you can crack with thieving, and they just give you like coins or gems, which is nice. And actually, I mentioned a couple episodes ago that if I didn't get the uncut diamond from random events, I would need to route a different way to get them, so I wouldn't have to stay at Sand Crabs for like 30 hours trying to get one. And actually, this was my backup plan. I was planning on coming here to Rogue's Den first and getting a diamond from these wall safes as my backup plan before going to Sand Crabs. And that would have been fine, actually, so if you're thinking about doing that, not a bad place to be. It's only 1 in 128 drop, so yeah, could be alright, to be honest. now that we were on the other side of the Taverley Wall, we could go down to that southern chunk that we unlocked earlier and do the quests that were there on the other side. So starting Druidic Ritual is easy enough, but we can go to the Taverley chunk next and then Taverley Dungeon, so we obviously can't complete it. And we are also able to start and complete the entirety of Witch's House, which will net us some very nice hit points experience that we don't really need, but nice to have. On top of that, we were able to start the Death Plateau quest. We could get as far as fixing the combination for like the first half of the quest, but after that we need to head west and talk to the people over there. So that was it for this chunk. With the Warrior Guild chunk unlocked, we could continue the Death Plateau quest. First of all, we could talk to the Hermit in the cave here and talk to the Mountaineer up in his pen here and fix his boots for him. But from there, unfortunately, we're only able to get so far on this path that we're supposed to follow. We'll need the northern chunk to continue along it, so for now, this quest is a dead end. The main attraction, of course, is the Warriors Guild in this chunk, but unfortunately I'm not quite able to enter it yet. I don't quite have the combat stats, unfortunately. We're very close, but I need one more attack or strength level, so I'll probably go off to Sand Crabs, grab 70 strength, and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back after grabbing 70 strength. I've also grabbed a set of mithril armor just for gathering Warrior Guild tokens. Obviously, we already had all this stuff unlocked from shops in other chunks, so it was easy enough. Now, there are some nice stuff that we get by unlocking the Warriors Guild. Obviously, we get the Defenders, but besides that, we have some shops here that we can access. So the potion shop here sells defense, attack, and strength potions, which are definitely not great. Super attack and super strength potions are way better, but they're basically free, so it's nice to have. And then this shop sells potatoes with cheese, which I think are quite good, and stews and plain pizza, as well as some fish, which is really solid food, actually. Probably my best source around here, so yeah, nice to have. I'll go ahead and grind out some Warrior Guild tokens now on the Mithril armor sets, and then we'll hop into killing some Cyclopses. Alright, I got a bunch of tokens, should be enough for quite a while. Hopefully it gets me through a bunch, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and start the grind. We don't have a defender yet, yes, that's fine. So, into the pit, gonna try to kill, well, not this guy, we're gonna try to kill the level 56s that are near the door here, and just cycle between them because the 76 is probably gonna do quite a bit of damage. So, yeah, we will see how lucky I get. Alright, definitely not the luckiest I've been, but we have the Dragon Defender in the end after a day or two of work here. Feels good. This is a great setup. I mean, Void is super accurate, Dragon Defender and the Dragon Longsword is great, Fancy Boots are peak fashion. Unfortunately, they're hidden under our skirt there, but I'm very happy with this gear. I'd love to be able to upgrade the cape and the amulet sometime soon, but yeah, we'll have to give a think about that. And I think we'll upgrade the boots very soon, to be honest, too. If we complete Death Plateau, we'll be able to grab some climbing boots, which obviously give strength bonus, which, it's one chunk away from us, so I think we'll go ahead and do that next now that we've got this awesome upgrade, and maybe then we'll end out the episode from there. So we went ahead and unlocked the chunk just north of the Warriors Guild that I mentioned earlier, and so now we're free to run along this path much further, which is great, because this is the last step of Death Plateau, like I mentioned. We just need to run up and around here to finish it, past this warning sign onto the next one. So yeah, this is nice. One thing we will have to do besides completing Death Plateau and grabbing some climbing boots is we will need to go and kill some of the trolls here for a Granite Shield because it is a strength requirement to wield. So after we go ahead and complete this quest, we will hop right on to killing those trolls. Actually, before we do that, we'll grab an upgrade here. Like I mentioned earlier, grab some climbing boots for 12 gold, very nice. And these are nice because they give us +2 melee strength, which is obviously way better than any other boots that we can have right now. So quite happy about that. Strength bonus is always great. I'm going to grab a bunch of copies of them and then we will head off the trolls and see what we can do. Okay, the trolls are just past this warning sign up here, so I've got my good setup on. We'll just protect from range. Nice to have prayers here. And kill guys. I think the trolls we want to kill are right here at the entrance, but I'll need to like de-aggro these guys first and then head back to them. Oh, just ignore that. I didn't walk into that new chunk. Ignore the music track. Yeah, but let me go ahead and hop worlds and get myself de-aggroed, and then I'll be back once we have the shield ready to go. Oh, there's the shield. Nice. Took a bit, not crazy over the drop rate or anything, but these guys hit like an absolute truck, so I've been making a lot of trips and eating a lot of potatoes here because I didn't feel like flicking prayers, but yeah, nice to have done. We'll equip that, and we obviously have way higher strength than needed, so we are all good for this chunk, and it's all complete now. Alright, with that little teaser there for next episode, I'm gonna have to end this one out now. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this cool routing or have any questions, leave a comment, give the video a like, appreciate it a lot. As always, let me thank my patrons real quick. JLo, Chagahad, and Happy, thank you so much. You guys are the best and let me do this. If you want to join the three of them, go to patreon.com/sourcechunk and join. I'd appreciate it a lot. But anyway, looking forward to the next episode and sharing it with you guys. So see you guys soon. Thanks so much for watching and have a good one.